Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series about Venice in Italy. My name is Monica Cesarato and I am a Venetian food and travel blogger. I'm going to put my insider knowledge at your disposal to help you discover Venice at 360 degrees. Each week, I will be chatting to the people who really matter, the Venetian. So follow me on the discovery of its artisans, writers, fashion designers, artists, glassmakers, bloggers, and much, much more. Come to visit Venice the right and sustainable way. You can find me on my blog www.monicacesarato.com and also on all social media. Enjoy the episode. Welcome back to Venice Talks, episode number 33. Hi everybody and welcome back to Venice Talks. Today I have a very special guest, a dear friend. He is one of the best chefs from Venice. Is Cesare Benelli from Ristorante Covo. Ciao Cesare, how are you?
Ciao, very well, thank you.
It's always so nice talking to you. You always give me so much inspiration, so many new ideas and stuff. So first of all, let's explain who you are. And I know that Alcovo doesn't need any presentation, but just in case, let's tell people what Alcovo is, because for me it's a special place. But I would like you to explain it.
Well, Covo is a restaurant that is 36 years old now, and is still run in the family by my wife, my son, and myself, and a loyal staff.
Oh yes,
and
definitely.
We have been working in the city for the past 35 years. And here we are. We're still here.
Yeah,
a life spent in three
food.
rooms. In 3 rooms.
In 3 rooms. The kitchen. Oh, you never go home. That's why. Hey, you should have get an apartment on top of a restaurant. That would be easier, wouldn't it?
You know, they say that it's not the best idea. Otherwise, you are in the restaurant also when you sleep.
But you pretty much are like doing that. Anyway,
well, we're living nearby anyway.
Yeah, exactly, like 2 minutes walk, right?
Yeah, it's right. 5 minutes walk. Yeah.
Listen. Your restaurant is very famous all over, not just with the locals, but also with the tourists, but not just the tourists, even with the international audience, because you do Venetian cuisine, but with your twist. But you're very specific because you only use local ingredients, right?
Yes, that's the essentially is the idea of our kitchen. Is based on local produce, local fish, mostly Adriatic fish, and vegetables from the lagoon and from the immediate mainland. We promote the Presidium, the slow food Presidium. We are a member of the association since a long time. And also the wine, there is an attention to the three Veneto wines, so the wine from Veneto, Friuli, and Trentino Alto Adige, with also other references, but with a special attention on the regional wines also.
And then during COVID, you had this great idea with some other restaurant people to start this new project that is called Osti in Orto.
Exactly.
Okay. What is, because I know I've interviewed you in 2021 about it, and I was so happy because now it's really become something big, because when we spoke about it last time, you just started it, but now I can see on social media that it's become something very, very important. So let's talk about this.
Well, the project of Osti in Orto, as you said, was originated during the lockdown, when we were, closed and reconsidering a little bit the city, the future of the city, and the the new trends of the city, the new possibilities. We got together with a group of 14 restaurateurs plus Rialto Frutta, which is the biggest distributor in town, which take care of the logistic of the project. There are four altogether. There are 4 hectares in Sant'Erasmo, so we're talking of 40,000 square meters. It's not somebody may think a market only a marketing idea, but it's a proper vegetable garden with fruit trees and 2 big 4,000 meters of artichokes and 4,000 meters of asparagus.
Oh wow! Okay. And you mentioned, I remember you mentioned oil as well last time we spoke. Did you? Is that happening as well?
I'm sorry, it's because I didn't hear you.
You mentioned olive oil, when we spoke of it.
No. We do have 50 olive trees, but they are not producing oil. We use them only for the olives, and we make the olives in Salamoia. Not yet. It would be because the oil in the lagoon is present. It's always been, and eventually we were gonna do also that.
So it's very important about this because, I'm writing a book on the islands right now, and obviously I'm writing about Sant'Erasmo, and it's always been an island with a vocation for agriculture. It's always been considered the allotment, the garden of the Doges. It used to be, what provided fruits and vegetables to the city of Venice. And it's nice now that, it's always been, but even more so the way you're doing it, because we're not even talking anymore about kilometro zero, farm to table. Is literally like meters now to your table. And do you actually go and do you go there and pick some of the stuff, or you just leave it to the professionals to do it?
Well, myself, we own a little private vegetable garden also. So I'm always the days off. I'm always in the islands. So sometimes I go and pick the little things also myself. But as I said before, there is a Rialto Frutta with Sano Santin that has a big organization and is our distributor. The vegetables are picked with an average of 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh wow!
The Santin has a boat in Sant'Erasmo. He picked the vegetables that are already put in the proper containers, single containers. They reach the Tronchetto. And then from Tronchetto, every morning, the 2 times, 3 times a week, they get distributed to each restaurant.
Wow. But it's actually important because 14 restaurants is a big number. So it means that you're creating even more work than, and Venice this year, I don't know if you noticed this, I didn't see any slowdown in the season. It seems to me like we've been high season.
We hope that the things was a sort of redimensioning, but it didn't. So now there is a lot of crowd, as you said, but the idea back then was to save part of the territory, to marcare il territorio.
Yeah. To make it yours. Yes.
Yeah, to sign the Venice is losing many things with the over tourism. Venice is losing pieces. Yes. And one of these pieces is, like you said, the traditional islands that was vocated for the farming, essentially, because it was mostly they were farming the animals. The Republic was supplying of the milk and the meat from Sant'Erasmo.
Okay.
And then late it developed this capacity to produce these extraordinary vegetables from a soil that is mixed between the sand and clay and limo. and very rich and mineral soil. And the vegetable, they have a special flavor. And so we decided why, not spread a territory, to mark the territory and develop and rethink of the economy of the city, starting from the lagoon.
Yeah, of course. Also because, we spoke about this many times. Venetian cuisine for many years was under-considered. It was undervalued. People didn't understand how important it was. And bringing back, not bringing back because we always eat them, but let's say bringing back to the attention of the people, our local produce, like the artichokes, like the asparagus and so on, is very important for the city. I mean, like the other day, I discovered, about a few months now, I discovered borage, deep fried borage. Oh my God, it's so good. I mean, it's actually even better than sage, fried sage. And I didn't even think about you could just deep fry it. And it's so typical of our lagoon and so on. And so another thing that you do as well as Osti in Orto, you also do Laguna nel Bicchiere, right?
Laguna nel Bicchiere, yes, I'm one of the founder, but I'm not directly involved now because I have to dedicate my time in the Osti in Orto.
Yeah, but we only have 24 hours a day, don't you?
But that was a brilliant idea of Flavio Franceschetti, and we got it together. Now it's doing very well, and is the president now. That Flavio is no longer with us, unfortunately. It's a big loss for our community. But the Laguna del Bicchiere got in the hand of Renzo D'Antonia, who was a professore and very good friend of Flavio. And they keep doing, actually, he developed, he implemented the association. And so they're doing very well.
What's the idea behind Laguna nel Bicchiere? What was the idea?
The idea was very similar to Osti in Orto, so to reevaluate spaces that otherwise they would have been lost forever. And so the small producers of especially wine, but not only, and without the attention that we put on the territory, on the pieces of land, they would have been disappeared.
Because people don't actually realize, but Venetians used to grow wine in Venice.
Oh yes. Most well, the Vignole, the name itself of the Vignole was. There were pieces of lagoon dedicated to the wine, but also in Sant'Erasmo there. Now they are planting Prosecco.
I didn't know about that.
They are rediscovering with Gastone Vio, with this Dorona, the ancient
native grape from Venice. Yes.
Yes, which is a autochthonous grape from the lagoon, which produce a very nice wines, special wines. It's of course there are different wines. They're not huge wines. They're not wine from the enological point of view that they can be considered perfect. But we still love them because they are a little bit like our sons. Even if they have a little defect, a little faults, we still love them.
Of course, but they're part of a history of it, because I mean, people don't realize actually that in the campos, the squares of Venice, how we call them in Venice is campo, they used to be fields with churches, and next to the church, the monastery of the convents used to grow the wine for the mass. Consider how many churches there are in Venice. You quickly can work out how many vineyards there were in the city, even on the Giudecca Island, right? That was
even in Venice, even properly in the center of the city.
Francesco della Vigna. That's why.
Francesco della Vigna, for instance, also not many people knows it, but the La Croce di Malta, there is one of the biggest open garden, and were all vineyards there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, not very many people knows that. But
you
many
can even, I mean, even now,
agli Scalzi,
yeah,
alla stazione,
exactly.
they were full of vineyards. And one of the things that we did with Laguna del Bicchiere is to reevaluate and maintaining alive these things. We brought the attention to these pieces of territory that they were otherwise they would have been lost in the memory.
And my question is, and I know it's a sore question to ask, how much support do you get from your authority for this kind of projects?
Practically none.
Nothing. Yeah, I thought
Practically none.
So.
And we are with Laguna del Bicchiere, we are associated with the vineyard de Montmartre, and they get 200,000 euros to maintain this little vineyard from the city of Paris. Of course, city of Paris has probably more resources than Venice, but we don't get.
I don't know.
We get very little. The association gets very little. It's self-supported. The city renew the lease of the spaces. San Michele, that we got that, but other type of financing, almost nothing. Rely on the support of the soci, which are almost 100 over hundreds. And Laguna del Bicchiere, I mean.
Yeah, of course, yes.
But not much more.
It's very sad, though, that two big projects like this, they're not projects anymore because you actually make them both real. So two big initiatives like this that promotes so much about the food and wine in a city that for years was so misunderstood about its food and wine, that you bring it back to the attention and you prove to everybody that, we're talking about 1,600 years old history behind this. And is so ignored, and that could be so good for tourism because it's good tourism. The people that come and want to try, they want to eat in a certain way, they want to try the wines, they want to discover, and from there they probably go and discover the other islands.
Exactly. This is exactly the point, Monica. So we did all this because we hope to promote a type of tourism that is that cares about the food. The food.
I like this. I like this. I like that you didn't say sustainable. I like it you didn't say slow, but you said that cares. I really like this.
Exactly. They care about food, and they also they are curious of the storytelling that the food tells. The little narration of that is behind this, because now these days everything is homologized.
Yes.
And we eat pretty much food from everywhere. Now we feel like it's. I understand. I know there is a little ambitious, but we think that we want to maintain this role of guardians of the territory, because we feel that the territory is getting apart. And so that's the idea.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you, Cesare, on this. Because, well, I'm totally on this for years. I mean, I think, I know as dreamers, I always say you can be a dreamer as long as you got plan from A to Z. Okay. And I think we do. You and your fields and mine. But I think if there weren't people like us that, still fight for these ideas, Venice would have gone a long time ago, I think. Let's talk about food now, since you are my first guest with which I can talk about food. Right. Spring in Venice. What people should come and eat right now?
Well, now is the spring vegetables are amazing. We are talking of the artichokes that everybody knows. We have a variety that is called Violetto di Sant'Erasmo, and is widely grown in Sant'Erasmo, but not only Vignole, Lido, Malamocco, and Torcello, and also the Cavallino area.
Tre Porti, Cavallino, yes.
And there is a variety of artichokes, very, very flavorful. It's a small variety of artichokes. It's a deep violet, the color. And it's
very strong flavor. I noticed for me the difference when I eat it from other artichokes, the flavor is more intense.
It is much more intense, it's much more mineral, and the sapidity is very high.
The leaves, but I hate finding hard leaves on artichokes. The leaves are so soft.
Exactly. Well, you know, we have to spend a few words on the artichoke, because the artichokes, they are the Venetian protocols. Well, the variety of artichoke is pretty much the same of the one that is grown in Tuscany, in the area of Livorno, or in Sardinia. But the protocol that we have here, we select the castraure, which is the first sprout of the artichokes. Like you said, the plant makes 1 to maximum 2 castraure, so two sprouts.
That's why they're so expensive.
When we castrate, we cut at the base the castraure. The plant start blooming the other artichokes that we call it bottoli. Okay, the castraure being the sprout, they concentrate the quality of the plant, so the bitterness, the minerality, and also the tenderness, and they are very tender, very sweet, but also they are distinctively bitter. So it's soft and bitter, and we consider them a delicacy. Usually these they get eaten raw. We make a carpaccio sliced really thin.
With a little bit of lemon,
salt, pepper, a little lemon, very little lemon, and some parsley or chives, and if you like, a little addition of Parmesan cheese. And that's very, very simple, very easy. They're delicious
and very good for you.
The bottoli, they can be made in many ways. They are stir fry, they are deep fry, they are golden fried. So there are many ways of doing it, and they are always delicious. They are less bitter, a little bit more tough, but still delicious. And we make beautiful risotto, for instance. Beautiful pasta dishes with
Cesare, I would like to say something to the American listening and to the British as well. In Italy, we eat the stalk too of the artichokes, and I got to say that's my favorite part. Because it's so I got to say
the stalk, we were, you know, I grew up in a group of 3, and we were always fighting for what we were calling managhi.
Okay, see, it's true. And
who's gonna get the managhi?
I know. No, I always, if I have to choose, you know, when you have to
that's another interesting thing that you brought up in the castraure process, in the protocol. There is the castraure, the bottoli, then the third gift is called the mazzette. The mazzette is the artichoke in the phase that is getting to the flower, flowering up, and so it gets longer, it extends, and they get the stalk, the managhi. With those managhi, the artichoke at that point is not as rich as the bottolo. Is a little skinner and a little tougher. And but the managhi are delicious, and we make risotto with that. We make tramezzini with that, and fresh mayonnaise and baby artichoke stalks. Many good things. So the plant is very generous with the protocol that we have, and the protocol that we use here in Venice with the castraure, bottoli, and mazzette is, as far as I know, is the unique in Italy. Nobody else does that.
And beware of eating castraure out of season. They are not castraure, right?
Castraure, as I said, the plant makes only 1 or 2 castraure.
Exactly.
And a good plant in 2 years, 3 years old, gets up to 20 bottoli, each plant, up to 20, sometimes even more. And then makes a sort of 7, 8, 10 mazzette. So each plant makes, a nice quantity. Is a very generous plant, the artichokes.
Oh yeah, they're big as well. Huge.
There's also the artichoke bottoms. When the flower comes up, underneath the flower, there is this formation, vegetable formation. It's called fondo, and they are delicious. Attached to the stalks, it's also another delicious things.
Then another thing in season is asparagus. That here in the Veneto, we are so famous for it because we got so many varieties. Oh my God.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful. There are many varieties.
So in Venice, on the island of Sant'Erasmo, is white asparagus or green asparagus?
No, usually, well, now they cultivate pretty much everything, but the best white asparagus are, they're not from Sant'Erasmo. Sant'Erasmo is known for a variety of asparagus that is called Montina, that we grow, that we reimplanted in our garden, Osti in Orto, and is one of the few places in the world that is this variety of asparagus is grown. Is the south of Spain and Sant'Erasmo Islands. It's called Montina. It's a violet variety.
All right.
And it's very mineral and very aromatic with a distinct bitter end.
Are they very thick or very thin?
Well, that depends on how you grow them. They can be very thin. In that case, they're called sparasei. Or they can grow up to the size of a finger.
Okay. Oh, all right. Quite big then. Okay. Right. Okay. And you go also, it's time for peas as well, isn't it?
Of course, peas are delicious.
And we got to say something about peas. Peas were very important in the Republic of Venice.
Yeah, they were considered a delicacy. The famous risotto di piselli was a dish of the Doge.
Risi. You're talking about Risi Bisi, yes.
And it was prepared in the day of the Ascensa, and it's a exquisite risotto, really exquisite. Tell you the truth, the original rice, the rice tradition, it's very old, was not the risotto, was a sort of soup made.
It was, wasn't it? Exactly. And it's really interesting because according to where you go, I hear different recipes. So I had this recipe taught to me on the island of Murano from an old lady. And the way she cooked it, I was like literally in shock because I wasn't expecting to cook it the way. She used everything of the peas, even
that's how you do. That's how you do. You make the water. You peel the peas, and with the bucce.
Yeah.
With the skins,
yeah.
And with celery and onion and carrots, and you make the stock.
Yeah, exactly.
And then back in time, they were using protein stocks. They were using usually chicken stock, to be completed, to be added at the stock. And now the rice, it's a very, very soupy risotto.
Yeah, it is.
And it gets dense by itself because the starch and the density of the rice.
Yeah.
And then closed with a little pancetta.
I was about to ask you. Do you add pancetta to yours too? Yes. And it's delicious.
I do.
I wish it's really funny because it's not easy to find anymore in the restaurants. I think it should be brought back as one of the main dishes of Venice if it could, because I think it's different. It's a different kind of a dish. No soup, no risotto, something different.
I'm sorry, I missed the last few words. Monica,
I said that it's neither a soup nor a risotto. It's something unique because it's neither of the two.
No, you're right. You're right. It's exactly like this. It's in between the soup and the risotto. Risotto it's a modern dish. It's a 19th century. It's early 1800, but
Yeah.
the rice was introduced in Italy by Venetians, imported. So it's a very and there were the one that they diffused the cultivation of rice in all the northern Italy, up to the Lombardia. The rice was free of taxes, was doganato.
Okay.
And that's why it was so popular, because it was relatively inexpensive. And I have to say, if there is a dish that identifies the Venetian cuisine the most, is the rice soups.
Yes.
Rice soups are not as present as they were in the Venetian cuisine in any other Italian cuisine. And you know how many type of cuisine we have.
Yeah, it's true. I thought it was something that I noticed that, but I thought it was something I just noticed that. But you are right. It's true. It's a bit. I noticed that they tend to do that in Asia. So pretty sure it's relating to the fact that the connection that we had to Asia as well. Cesare, another thing I want to talk about. Do you actually, as Osti and Orto, do you grow in Sant'Erasmo also peaches or not?
No, we don't grow. We didn't plant peaches. We plant white prunes that are called succhette.
Okay.
It's another autochthonous variety of prune.
And what are you going to do with it?
We're going to eat them.
No, I know you're going to eat them. Pretty sure you're not going to throw it at people.
It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful fruit, believe me. Also very mineral, very, very interesting flavor.
I'm pretty sure that Diane is already thinking of new cakes to make with it.
You can make beautiful crostate. You can use it.
Yeah, jams.
We make a dessert with a cake with the white prunes and cannella and cinnamon and then grappa sauce. It's very versatile.
Okay, people don't know that we're recording this early in the morning, but I'm already I'm getting hungry.
It's a beautiful breakfast.
Oh my God.
Then we grow two variety of pears.
Okay.
We grow, of course, figs and persimmons.
Okay. Yeah.
And we grow jujubes.
Oh, okay.
Which and also there are all variety of fruit that don't require chemical or special treatments.
Yeah, that's what I was.
They're very strong. They're well adapted in the territory, and so they are chemical free.
So that's what I forgot to ask you before. How much attention is given with your association and in any way in Sant'Erasmo on the use of chemicals or not the use of chemicals?
We are trying to use as least as possible. We cannot say that it's organic growing.
It's hard, and in Venice is even harder.
It's an achievement. We are aiming to arrive to that point. We are not there yet, but we are doing agricultura, integrated agriculture, advanced integrated agriculture, the least as possible.
Okay.
We use organic fertilizer, humus di lombrico and stallatico, and we use very little mineral fertilizers, very little. And the things that the land that we had was dismissed for the past 20 years. Therefore, it was full of bioactivity because it was not used, but also this bioactivity is produced malherbs. So they produce good vegetable, but also bad vegetable. In order to control that, we will have to use little chemicals. But we are very careful to using to respect the time of the prescribed by the product, and we hope in a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, to arrive to a point that we use almost zero chemicals.
How happy were the people of Sant'Erasmo of your project, of your idea to, to get the island back on?
Like Venice, Sant'Erasmo used to have 1,600 inhabitants. Now they are a little bit more than 500.
Whoa!
So can you imagine? They look with favor with these things, because also the person that take cares. The two guys that they're working for Osti and Orto, one is Venetian, the other one is from Sant'Erasmo, is Mario Saviolo and Gregorio De Battisti, and Mario is living in Sant'Erasmo, has the house in Sant'Erasmo. The project is ambitious because.
Do you think it's going to bring young people back as well to the island?
That's what we hope. We were telling you the truth. We have problems in finding help in this.
I can imagine.
We are, we got a small apartment now in the Carciofera where we grow artichokes that we are restoring now, hoping to be able to get people that they can live there. Who can spend at least 3 months there. And
let's throw this out. Do they need to have experience, or are you happy as long as they work?
No, well, they need to have a little experience. They need to study agriculture. Because there is an international problem. There is wolfing. I'm sorry if you ever heard that.
No, but
well, they is used mostly in the cultivation of the grape. But there are people that they are studying agriculture in many universities of Europe and overseas.
So you will be happy if you can get somebody from abroad. You will be happy as well, wouldn't you?
Oh yes, yes. Next year we will have the apartment ready. So for next season we will promote this.
So let's plant the seed now. Let's tell people. Please listen now, because Venice is looking for farmers.
Exactly.
That would be, and it's amazing with all this silly publicity Venice gets for stupid things. This is a kind of, I'm all for
this is the image of Venice that we want to promote and that they want to implement.
Exactly. Also, because as I said, writing this book on the islands, Cesare, I've discovered a new world. It's amazing the history that there are behind. I wrote about 45 islands, but I know it's much more than that. But Vos is the one that I managed to find some history, written history about it. But it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's an extraordinary. It's an extraordinary territory. It's really extraordinary. More than extraordinary, it's unique.
Yes.
In between the lagoon and the sea, and the environment is.
It's unique. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
I'm falling in love every time that I go there. I literally fall in love with that.
That's good.
And if you can promote this image of Venice, which is if you want, is the minor Venice, but and also I feel like saying that the unicity of Venice is of course the monumental values, that we all know, and that is of an incredible beauty. But the extraordinary is the fact that all this beauty has been built on mud, on sand, the water. That is the unicity. These big palaces with stones, with marble, that were built on nothing, on the lagoon, on the mud.
Most of those stones comes from the island. And most of those stones comes from the islands. That's what people don't realize.
They come from all over, from Istria,
but many were used to build a monastery and the churches on the islands, and then they got destroyed and then taken over to the city.
The first settlement were in Torcello, no, the oldest, and in the lagoon, in the islands of the lagoon. Yeah. Then they moved to the in San Pietro in Castello.
Yeah. Sorry. San Pietro later. Yeah.
San Pietro in Castello, and then from Castello they moved towards Rialto and San Marco and Rialto.
So I know it's such an incredible history, and all people talk about is Piazza San Marco and Rialto, and that's it. It's so sad. It's so sad. Okay, Cesare, I know you got to go to work, so I'm gonna leave you alone now. Thank you so much. By the way, where can people find you online? What's your website?
No, we don't have a website yet.
What do you mean? You used to, didn't you?
No. My Alcovo.
Yeah.
You mean Alcovo. You can find me on the Alcovo. You just enter Alcovo, it comes up. But the Osti Orto.
Okay, guys, I will tell you my website later. And over social media, don't worry. Osti Orto, instead, you don't have a website yet.
Osti Orto, we don't have a website. No.
Okay.
No, but it's under construction, and we were waiting to give the garden a form, a proper form.
Okay.
This is our third vintage harvest.
Okay, but you are on Instagram, because I'm following you.
Yes, we are on Instagram. They can follow us through Instagram, and there are some good pictures. And Mario Saviolo is taking care of the taking picture, the promotion, the advancement, and the products of the moment. Yes.
Good. Well, listen, I'm looking forward to come back to eat at your place eventually, because it's impossible to get a reservation. You have like a 1 year waiting list. You're like,
don't exaggerate, Monica.
Well,
don't exaggerate.
6 months. 6 months.
No, anyway. It's not that complicated. Yeah. It's complicated because Venice, there are periods. For instance, this period is the period of the Biennale.
I know. It's always Biennale in Venice. It's always Biennale.
It's always the Biennale. You're right.
And if it's not Biennale, it's Carnival. And if it's not Carnival, it's Christmas. Come on. Every time I call Diane, no, sorry, Monica, I can't. So I gave up. I'm waiting for somebody famous to come and invite me, and then I know you'll find a space for
But I'm doing you a formal invitation for the garden, to the Osti Orto. If you like, I have a traditional boat. I can come and get you, and I'll take you to the garden, because that is something you have to see. As I said, it's not only a marketing project; it's a proper vegetable garden.
I'll tell you what.
Between the biggest in Sant'Erasmo now.
Listen, I throw it there. Let's launch my book on the islands in Sant'Erasmo.
Sorry?
Let's launch. My book is coming out soon, because it should be out soon, in 2-3 months, maximum 3-4 months it will be out. Let's launch it in Sant'Erasmo.
Okay.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Sure, right. With pleasure.
I'll let you go. Say hi to Diane. Say hi to the wonderful son.
Monica. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you.
See you soon. Okay.
Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you so much, Cesare, for sharing all these tips and information about the good food of Venice. You can find Cesare and his family at www.ristorantealcovo.com and on all social medias as Ristorante Alcovo. And also you can find him as Osti in Orto on Instagram. Thank you again for listening. If you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me on my blog www.monicacesarato.com or at cookingvenice.com, and also on all social medias with the handle at Monica Cesarato and at Cooking Venice. Feel free to leave a comment or write to info@monicacesarato.com for more information about the people featured in the podcast or Venice. Bye bye!